bit about how this is your second spring here, how everything has gone?
Yeah, no, it's going okay, not too bad. Just competing every day, trying to get better. Also just focusing on myself, improving on each and every kick, each and every practice. Just controlling the controllables, and yeah, that's all I've really been focusing on.
I may be wrong, but it seems to me that there's more work being done with the specialists in camp, or not camp, but spring practice this year, it seems.
I think so. There's a lot going into the punt period, the field goal period, pre-practice as well. Not more so on the specialist side, but like the other positions on the field. The practice has gone well, I think, on all areas of the field goal and punt, so I think it's going well. Lots of competition.
Getting last year to get yourself used to playing in the program, adapting to your surroundings. Yeah. How do you feel about this year? How are you feeling this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I think I've definitely improved from this time last year. I think I'm in a better spot physically, like punting wise. I'm just trying to improve every day, really. That's really all I'm been focusing on.
How has Coach Lunsford helped you improve your game as a punter and playing a key part of special teams?
Yeah, no, for sure. Coach Lunsford's been great in me coming here. It's been really positive, encouraging. He gets it because the last punter here was also an Australian, Riley Thompson, so he understands that we've never played the game before coming in, so no, he's been really good.
What are your thoughts on how the team is looking entering this fourth week of spring ball?
I think so. Our special teams wise, have been looking really good. I think I'm probably the worst person to ask about offense or defense because I don't really know what's going on. But special teams wise, we're looking really good. I think on punt, scheme's looking good, and then on field goal as well, the kickers are doing really well. And then our long snappers, Nick, Tanner, and Kenny, they're all roofing the wall, so they're all doing really good.
What area of your game are you focusing on improving on the most?
Yeah, more so consistency, especially special teams wise. You just need to be consistent. Everyone at this level can kick a big ball, so it's more so about doing it more often and making your bad balls not as bad, and making obviously you're going to have your good balls, but making sure you're consistent. That's really what I've been focusing on.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for that.
Spring under Coach Herman, really, I think that you've been really heavily involved in spring. Were you injured last spring or no? It was a summer.
I got injured after spring ball last year. So last spring ball was the first time I was able to kick in front of Coach Herman. And then that was the last time until now.
So how has that gone, and do you know what you're doing this summer?
This summer, I think I'm going to take care of my body a little bit better. So far, so good. I miss the guys. I really can't thank the people that have helped me enough, between the PT, Steve Emery, and everybody in the athletic training room, Brad, Bill, Raleigh, just everybody in there, and then Joey and his staff, obviously, and Coach Lunsford and Coach Herman for believing in me and still allowing me to have my spot on this team, and obviously my parents and everybody else that was involved, and Dr. Ross, so yeah.
When a lot of times when players are away for a year, they have a different appreciation for the game when they come back, or they get a different appreciation for what the coaches are going through. Did you experience that in the fall?
Yeah, so being on the sideline in crutches or in a brace, at least for the first couple of games, really I didn't really realize how much the game had meant to me until that point where I had to watch someone else do what was my job previously, and it was like, I couldn't wait and be patient enough to get back to where I'm at right now, fully healthy. But yeah, it kind of put a lot of things in perspective and made me fall in love with the game even more.
Obviously, the injury has sidelined you for the entirety of last season. How motivated are you heading with the spring ball underway?
I'm coming to get my job back. That's it.
And how are the special teams coming together at entering the fourth week of spring practice as you're getting back up to speed with your kicking?
Yeah, I mean, I think as special teams as a whole, we're light years ahead of where we were last year during spring ball, as we saw in the meeting this morning. And as far as the competition between just the specialists right now, we're competing well. I don't think I've ever been a part of a group that has kicked field goals so well, and that's the aspect that I can speak from. Right now, we're light years ahead of where we've been. So it's been going well as far as special teams goes.
What's the biggest improvement that you're looking to make in your game?
Just staying consistent, staying healthy, staying strong mentally, and as far as physicality goes, I still have work to do in the weight room and get back to where I was previously, but I'm in decent shape at the moment.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Ball man in the back.
Yeah, ball man in the back. Who is your favorite coach? Coach Herman or Coach Lunsford? Oh.
Remember that question you asked me yesterday in your office?
No, but don't ask it. Don't ask it because I ain't sure what it was.
I'm not going to ask it. Coach Herman.
Good answer.
A little bit differently this spring, I assume there's a graduate, somebody that's been through it, knows what the paces are. How much has the game slowed down for you and enabling you to move to different things through practice?
Just think over time, and I've been doing the same thing over and over again, and kind of an outside perspective. So I mean, the game has slowed down a lot because I have trust in my guys. We're working with the same guys for the past 3-4 years, so it's easy because of the chemistry. And honestly, the game has slowed down tremendously in my eyes.
Nicholas, with the familiarity of the coaching staff, like coming back for another year, how much has that benefited you and the other guys, and like knowing what's in the game plan and what you have to do under the system?
Oh, it benefits us a lot in the off season. I mean, we know what we're expecting, we know the schemes, we know what formations we're going to have. So it allowed us to work in the off season, knowing what we're doing under Coach Herman and Coach Lunsford, and they were pretty transparent about what we're doing. So it made our jobs a lot easier.
Obviously, long snapping plays a pretty huge role in the special teams. How would you describe the amount of dedication it takes to perfect those long snaps to the holders and for the kickers to take those field goal attempts?
Yeah, in the early stages, a lot of frustration, just trying to get the ball right, everything right, the little things, and then as over time, like you just learn, and it's just like a second language to you. It's pretty easy, but there's still a lot of work to do. There's still always work to do. I mean, even now, like I'm a 6th year, a long snapper, and I'm still like finding little things I need to work on and trying to better myself, and there's always things to work on. But I mean, it's easy when you have guys that help you.
And speaking of improving, what's the biggest area that you're looking to get better at with this year at spring practice?
Being more like vocal, being more of a leader, just expressing myself a little more, and then on the field with snapping, just like the little minor things, just like certain like spins of the ball and whatnot, and placement, and like everybody else said, consistency is big for me. Just want to have my last year my best year.
All right, thank you. How does it feel to have them sitting back there critiquing you?
Oh, it's great. 'Cause, that means that there's relationships that have been built. If you ask them, they'd probably say I spend more time with other people than them, but they're fun to be around. Like, this is a good group of specialists. One, their mindset's right. They love to work hard. They love to compete. They love to try to help the team win. But on top of it, they're pulling for each other. They're pulling for their teammates, and there's a good bond. There's a good vibe with the specialist group for sure.
Obviously, Morgan being out for the entirety of last season. Obviously, Logan held down the fort for him with kicking duties. How does it feel to have Morgan back into the rotation?
Oh, it's great because, obviously Morgan was going into the year last year, having an opportunity to be the guy, was one of the most consistent kickers for us. And, for Lupo to step in, and then at one point Carter Davis stepped in, those guys stepped up. But to get Morgan back, one, you see a hunger with Morgan now. You see a guy that wants to, like he said it earlier, I want to get my job back. And that's pushing Lupo, and that's pushing Robert Hammond. And I think there's a great little competition going on for that field goal kicking job.
What's the biggest improvement you see from the kicking and punting units compared to last year?
Well, for one, Nick Salmon, he's been the guy that, came in last year, got used to, what's the best way to say it, American football, and guys running at him and rushing and all that kind of stuff. You see a little bit of difference with him now of being a little bit more confident back there. I think that the punting battle between him and Lupo is really going great this spring. And obviously Lupo's got so much game experience, that makes that battle really significant this spring, because we want somebody to come out of spring being the punter, then we want somebody to come out of spring being the field goal kicker. If that doesn't happen, it'll go on into training camp. But the great thing about it is we're going to have a hard decision as coaches, because there's a lot of good opportunities there for our guys.
Entering the fourth week of spring ball, what improvements are you looking to get out of the special teams?
Well, I thought last year was maybe a learning curve for our special teams. We call them special forces, so I may end up saying that. But last year was a little bit of, a combination of Coach Herman, what he's done in the past, maybe some combination of things that I've maybe done in the past, and we were kind of blending those things together. What I really think has happened is this spring, everybody's been locked in, and I made a point in the special teams meeting this morning. If we were to put on film from last spring and compared clips, you would see a total different football team right now. You see a lot of guys paying attention to detail. You see a lot of guys trying to do it the way they're coached, and they're trying to do it at high efficiency. So I think that's what you're seeing. I think you're seeing a growth in the special teams area.
What's the different dynamic between kick returning and punt returning within special teams?
So obviously it's a different way the ball's kicked to them. You're going to have a kicker that kicks off a tee that boots it to the end zone, and it's end over end. And for the kick returner, it's more about making sure he gets position on the ball so he can steal 5 yards. And what I mean by that, he wants to be more in a track stance so that he can run up and catch the ball. As a punt returner, that ball can go a lot of different ways, depending on how the punter's punting and which way he punts it. So we want to do a good job of getting square on the ball and catching the ball, keeping our elbows tight, high hands. And you would do that in kick returner as well. It's just a different approach to the football. So whereas a punt returner may have something really, really high and he has to adjust his body to, a kick returner is more trying to get behind the ball and run to it and catch it.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all. Also, too, I think one of the big things with our special forces, special teams is, man, you see a really awesome job. Our Coach Herman's always heavily involved in special forces, but man, our assistant coaches really doing a great job of stepping up and really getting involved into the scheme stuff, getting involved into the fundamental stuff. So when you ask about the biggest difference between last year to this year, I just see growth not only in players, but I see growth in coaches, and I see assistant coaches that are really doing a good job helping us get our special teams better.
Okay.
Thank you.